Yeah.
As we should say, change the PVC pipe on our OG.
Well, as I said, we can also tell on the brick wall, you can see the old concrete mark where the old BT surround was, and you can see where the old mark was and where they just bricked it off and raised it up higher. So you can tell that it had been modified. And the riser was definitely PVC, and the old ones, 4 years old, they were all VC risers. So
You can change up to 3 metres high.
that's right, but the plumber still sort of submitted a Form 4 for the work. So there was no Form 4 submitted to council, so we didn't know who the licensed person was. We had no record of a Form 4, then how could it was illegal work?
Well, so let's get back to where the government needs to be telling the public that plumbing work is got to be, if there's a legal 21 bar licensed plumber, to do plumbing work. And it's not being advertised to the public enough. Electricians it is, but it's not being advertised to the public enough that it is illegal to do any plumbing work except the track washer. That's why licensed plumber, not avoid the risk of using a licensed plumber. It is actually illegal.
Yeah, look, I agree with that. It's something, we'll work on.
Just like every question, I'm going to say something about this. Form 4s. The government's got Form 4s out there. People haven't been submitting Form 4s at all, or hardly at all. Right? We've now got Form 4s for solar. Okay? And all these blokes aren't even putting in they're putting in their Form 4s, some aren't even putting in their Form 4s for solar. And then they're cheating and not doing things right. The Plumbing Industry Council, as a council and master plumbers, we want to extend Form 4s to include things such as kitchen renos, bathroom renos, all the things that you're carrying on about here. We want to see that extended. But we can't even get the blokes to do the right thing after they meet the courses at TAFE or meet the courses at Master Plumbers or any other training provider on solar hot water systems to be able to do the right thing. You blokes, and I'm hoping there's not blokes in this room, but there are blokes out there who are licensed plumbers who've got the solar endorsement who are putting the whole of our Form 4s at risk because they can't do the job right, or they won't do the job right because they're cutting corners. You ask Eddie about what he's finding now. They never used to enter the ceilings. They don't. Now they put cameras up in the ceilings to check out. And what are they finding? Blokes are out there that have done the course at Master Plumbers at TAFE are now out there and they're not lagging their copper pipe between the panels and the tanks. Now how bloody crazy is that? Here you are getting a privilege to be able to put a Form 4 in. We as industry want to extend that Form 4 further so we can go and do things like bathroom renos and kitchen renos because Eddie might see 1 in 100 of those if he's lucky. And guess what? It doesn't happen with Brisbane City Council, Morton, Logan, anywhere else around the whole of Queensland, they don't get to see it. But here we are trying to get something in place for the betterment of the plumbing industry, and you blokes are bloody letting us all down by taking shortcuts and cheating all bloody time. And then you're all whinged and moan about the bloke down the road who's doing the wrong thing. Well, the bloke down the road is doing the wrong thing because we're letting it happen to him, and we're doing the wrong thing because we're not complying with the council requirements in the first place. If you want to fix it, we can fix it, and we can move it along and have things like sending a Form 4. And I know Chris is happy to do that. And I know some of the plumbing inspectors aren't happy to do it, but I've got to say to all the plumbing inspectors in the room, and I've said it to many throughout Queensland, you don't get to see the work anyway. And what happens is, all these things like these illegal DTs and the things that other people are talking about here, all happen because a licensed plumber hasn't done it. Now we've got the situation in Brisbane where every solar installation that's got a Form 4 on it in Brisbane is being audited because blokes are doing the wrong thing. And when Eddie says to them, have you guys, you've gone and got the course, you've got your endorsement, how come you're not doing it right? Didn't they teach you that in the course? Oh yeah, they taught me that, but I thought I'd take a shortcut this time. Well guys, you whinge about it. There's no such thing as shortcuts in plumbing. We've got to do it right every time. And then if we do it right every time, we can extend our Form 4s to try and cut out the lunatics that he's talking about that are out there advertising in the Courier Mail or the local rags, stealing our work, because that's what they're doing at the end of the day. But you're your own worst enemies. I'm not the Vestal Virgin either, but I'm just saying, there are times when we've got to do the right thing and put all these bloody forms in, and if we put our Form 4s in, we could stop a lot of this, because what we really wanted the Form 4 to be was like the electricians. We got somebody mentioned here before, every invoice that electricians send out says on there that I've done the work in accordance with the bloody Electrical Workers and Contractors Act, and the electrician's got to sign it to say that. You know, that's the consumer's protection. We don't do that as plumbers. It's just a bloody joke. So if you want to get it cleaned up, you've got to help these guys and help our industry by submitting the forms, doing it right every bloody time, proving to all the plumbing inspectors in the room that we can be trusted. Because I'll tell you at the moment, they don't bloody trust us, and they've got good reason not to trust us when you see all these stuff-ups that we're doing out there in the paddock at the moment.
Thanks, Bill. We've got time for probably... well done. We've got time probably for a couple of additional questions before we close it up. Just an add-on to what Bill was saying, we've been told how many of the licensees have achieved the endorsement, the solar heat pump endorsement, and it doesn't add up to the number of people who've done the course. So if you've done the course and haven't applied for your endorsement, or haven't had acknowledgement from the PIC that you have, you better follow up. Question down the back.
Yeah, just Eddie. Did the insurance company still have their forms and pay their fees for inspection?
That's a good point, but in those situations we issue the owner of a notice and we tell them how many licensed plumber in to rectify the defect. So it's sort of like a double hit on top of it, but unfortunately as the park you have to go down and get to comply. Yeah, that's a good point.
One comment and I have one little question. My comment is the same thing. The PIC has put out in place the online complaint form. I suggest that all of you plumbers start using it. Right? Because if you've got a complaint against somebody that may have run the country, that might be doing the wrong thing, if the PIC knows about it, right, they can probably send the secretary to go and have a look at it. Right? Hopefully. If we all use the system will in turn help us. Right? So that's the comment. The last question is Smart EPA. When that comes out to play, do we actually get training on how to use it effectively?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually going to have a training program once it comes out. I've got officers already that are project managing it at the moment, and they will be going out with the officers to be trained. We're starting with a pilot program. Ipswich City Council is taking part in that pilot program in the southeast here. We've also got a couple of councils, Bundaberg and Council. They're our pilot ones to run it on. So the officers there will be trained and our officers will be trained. So once we're trained and it's up live, our staff will be going out and helping train the plumbing inspectors as well, so they can understand the process, and we'll be doing training for them. Yeah, if anybody wants to use it, we'll probably set up a register, and then what we'll do with that is it probably will include the likes of Master Plumbers, a registered training organisation, to help train their members in how to use the product. I'd just like to raise one other quick thing. There's a couple of things quickly. You're talking about the Form 4 process. We have been looking, industry has said they'd like to look at expanding the Form 4. We have been looking at the possible expansion of it. Bathroom Meadows is a perfect example. One of the things that probably be interesting to get some feedback from you guys is, you know, taking into account the gentleman's comment earlier about us not doing enough compliance inspections, one of the things would be to introduce a fee for the Form 4 and have a fee that enables the council to go out and do an inspection, because one of the problems you're always going to have with the Form 4 process is where a Form 4 there's no fee going to council. If council wants to go out and do an audit, they've got to fund it out of just their normal revenue. You've got the $25 which goes to the solar, but if we were to expand that Form 4, how would you guys feel about maybe paying $25 to $50 to lodge a Form 4 rather than go through a permit process? Now that's one of the ways you can get the audit program set up, because then they can fund additional stuff. And one thing about the solar rebate, so just need to let you know this, we are currently doing an audit of every single solar rebate that's been done through government. In conjunction with the Office of Clean Energy, they have sent us a list of every single claim. We're checking it against plumbers, and we're checking it against their training and their endorsements, and I can tell you guys, it is not pretty reading. It is not pretty reading. We have hundreds of installations that either don't have Form 4 or don't have a permit. In fact, we've got some plumbers and their licenses who have done several hundred installations without any approvals. No inspections, no Form 4s. We're collating that at the moment. We will be coming to get you. I hate to say that, but we will be coming to get you. If you've left your paperwork with the Form 4, you forgot it, go back and do it now. Your 40 days is too long. I'd like to reduce it to 5. I got outvoted on that. But one of the things I talked about was introducing a Form 4 in the form of a pad. Because I said the electrician's round the other day at my home doing some work, and when he finished, he signed that off and gave me a copy there on the spot. Building certifiers do the building approvals, they give you a fine certificate on the spot. Some do the whole thing. And I don't see any reason why you can't have a Form 4. We're happy to look at possibly even making them at cost. We'll make them at cost, and you can buy them off at cost. So you have a Form 4 pack, and they have 3 copies. Top copy will be going to your customer, second copy will go to the council, and the third copy is your record. None of it's 40 days. Why do you need 40 days? Because the problem is that when you've done your 15th to 20th job at the end of a busy week, which you're going to be at the moment with floods and that sort of damage, but by the way, 30 days, you can't even remember what you've been doing 2 weeks before, never alone remember to perform it. So why not do it at a time? Now, if we get feedback from you guys that you would go down that, you would look at creating that pad, then if the feedback's good enough, we think people will take it up. We're happy to make that sort of process happen, make those pads up, and we'll sell them to your customer.